What if I told you that the difference between who you are and who you crave to become lies not in talent, luck, or destiny, but in 5 minutes a day? 5 minutes of defiance against distraction. 5 minutes of choosing the uncomfortable over the convenient. 5 minutes that, over time, build an unbreakable spine of discipline. The world's most extraordinary lives are not accidents. They are blueprints, etched by the silent architects of habit. But be warned, complacency is a slow poison, and time is not your ally. The question is not if you'll pay the price for your choices, but when. Will you pay it in regret or in mastery? Let's begin. You are not the victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your destiny. And the blueprint for that destiny is drawn not in grand gestures, but in the quiet, daily strokes of personal discipline and habit formation. The greatest empires of character, wealth, and influence are built not by luck, but by the relentless repetition of small, deliberate acts. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. It is the silent force that turns the chaos of ambition into the order of accomplishment. You see, the mind is a garden, and habits are its seeds. Plant weeds of procrastination, distraction, or doubt, and your life will choke on their chaos. But sow seeds of consistency, focus, and resolve, and you will harvest a life of mastery. The choice is yours. Every moment, every day. Let me share with you a secret known to every great achiever. Habits are the invisible chains that bind you to mediocrity or propel you to greatness. They operate below the surface of consciousness, steering your actions long after motivation is faded. The moment you wake, the food you eat, the thoughts you entertain, these are not random acts. They are rituals etched into your neural pathways by repetition. Want to change your life? Change your rituals? Want to change your destiny? Master your mornings? Want to command respect? First, command your impulses. I challenge you to confront this truth. The battle for discipline is won or lost in the first hour of your day. The moment you hit snooze, you surrender to weakness. The moment you choose distraction over purpose, you kneel to mediocrity. But the moment you rise early, move your body, and feed your mind with purposeful thought, you declare war on complacency. You awaken the sleeping giant within. Let me tell you of a man I once studied, a man of no extraordinary talent, born into poverty. His secret, he mastered the 20-minute rule. Every morning, without fail, he devoted 20 minutes to reading, 20 minutes to planning his day, and 20 minutes to physical exercise. For years, this trifecta seemed insignificant, but compounded over a decade, it transformed him into a titan of industry. Why? Because discipline is mathematics. Small actions multiplied by time become unstoppable forces. But discipline is not austerity. It is liberation. When you train your mind to focus, your hours expand. When you tame your cravings, your energy multiplies. When you silence the noise of trivial pursuits, your clarity sharpens. The most disciplined among you are not the most restricted, they are the most free. They have broken the shackles of impulsivity and stepped into the sovereignty of intentional living. And let us speak plainly of failure. You will stumble, you will falter, you will wake some days feeling as though your habits have abandoned you. But here is the alchemy of discipline. Every relapse is a lesson. The man who fails 7 times but rises 8 has not failed. He has practiced. Each time you recommit, you forge mental muscle. Each time you choose the gym over the couch, the book over the screen, the truth over the excuse, you carve your character deeper into stone. Now I ask you, what is the one habit that, if mastered, would revolutionize your life? Is it rising at dawn? Is it financial frugality? Is it the relentless pursuit of knowledge? Identify it, write it down. Then for the next 30 days, perform it with monastic consistency. Not 29 days, 30. Why? Because discipline is not a habit, it is a lifestyle. It is the unwavering decision to show up even when the world sleeps, even when doubt whispers, even when the path feels barren. Remember this, the world does not crown the talented, it crowns the disciplined. Michelangelo did not stumble upon the Sistine Chapel. He chiseled it, one stroke at a time. Beethoven composed symphonies while deaf not by accident, but by habit. The Wright brothers did not conquer the skies in a day. They fell, adjusted, and rose again, day after day. You possess the same power. Your habits are your chisel, your pen, your wings. But you must wield them with precision. You must guard your routines like a sacred flame. For in the end, your life will not be defined by what you desired, but by what you disciplined yourself to do. Now, begin. Not tomorrow, not when the stars align. Now this moment is your crucible. The world is waiting for the masterpiece only you can create. Will you pick up the chisel? Let me share with you a law as immutable as gravity. Your habits are the servants of your subconscious mind. What you repeat, you imprint. What you imprint, you become. The subconscious does not argue, it obeys. Feed it doubt, and it will sabotage you. Feed it conviction, and it will move mountains on your behalf. This is the science of autosuggestion, the quiet dialogue between your conscious desires and your deeper self. Every night as you drift toward sleep, and every morning as you greet the dawn, whisper to your subconscious, I am disciplined, I am focused, I am unstoppable. Over time, it will have no choice but to obey. You see, discipline is not a punishment. It is a pact with your future self. The man who masters his habits does not chain himself. He forges keys. Keys to unlock doors the average man never dares approach. But here's the caveat. Your environment will test you. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you inhabit, the media you consume, these are the silent architects of your habits. Surround yourself with mediocrity, and it will seep into your routines. Align yourself with those who demand excellence, and their standards will become your own. This is the mastermind principle. You rise or fall to the level of your tribe. Choose wisely. Let me tell you of a woman I once counseled, burdened by failure. She blamed fate, circumstance, even the stars. But when we examined her habits, the truth emerged. She spent her evenings scrolling mindlessly, her mornings rushing chaotically, her days reacting, not acting. I challenged her to a single change, 1 hour of undisturbed planning each Sunday. In that hour, she mapped her week, defined her priorities, and visualized her victories. Within months, her chaos crystallized into order. Why? Because discipline is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters, with ruthless consistency. And let us speak of the greatest thief of discipline, the illusion of someday. Someday I'll start. Someday I'll change. But someday is a mirage, a lie told by fear. The time to act is now. The French philosopher Montesquieu once wrote, "Success depends on your backbone, not your wishbone." You may wish for wealth, health, or wisdom, but without the backbone of habit, wishes are but smoke. Consider the oak tree. It does not grow overnight. It digs its roots deep, ring by ring, season by season. So it is with discipline. The first week, you will feel nothing. The first month, flickers of change. But a year, 5 years, you will stand tall, unshaken by storms, because your habits have become roots. Yet hear this warning. Beware the poison of comfort. Society will tempt you to numb your potential with convenience, distraction, and shortcuts. The screens, the sweets, the endless noise, they are not pleasures. They are pacifiers for the undisciplined soul. The truly disciplined man is not austere, he is selective. He chooses delayed gratification, not out of sacrifice, but out of reverence for his future. Discipline is the ultimate act of self-respect. Every time you choose a salad over junk food, a book over gossip, a workout over lethargy, you declare to the universe, I am worthy of greatness. And the universe in time will echo back your worth. So I ask you again, what will you build with your habits? A prison of excuses or a palace of achievement? The chisel is in your hand. The marble of your life awaits. Strike boldly. The bridge between mediocrity and greatness is not built by chance, but by the quiet, relentless laying of bricks, each one a disciplined choice, a repeated habit. Let me share with you principles wielded by history's titans, principles that transform ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Every empire begins with a single, unwavering aim. Consider the industrial magnate who rose from poverty to dominate an era. Each dawn, he reviewed his goals with surgical precision, discarding distractions like dead weight. His mantra: the man who chases two rabbits catches neither. Discipline begins when purpose becomes non-negotiable. Without a target, habits scatter like shrapnel. Legends are forged in the mind before they manifest in the world. A young salesman, penniless and unconnected, began each day visualizing himself negotiating with titans. He imagined their voices, their objections, his poised replies. Over time, his mind absorbed the confidence he acted out. What you rehearse mentally, you become physically. The subconscious does not distinguish between vivid imagination and reality. It obeys both. A prospector once abandoned a gold mine inches from fortune, selling his equipment for scrap. The new owner struck riches with a single swing of the pick. The lesson? Success often lies just beyond the point where most men quit. The disciplined treat setbacks as detours, not dead ends. Persistence is not a trait, it's a habit, a refusal to let temporary defeat veto eternal ambition. A farm boy with no formal education revolutionized global industry. His secret? A fanatical routine, pre-dawn risings, relentless tinkering, and a creed etched into his soul. Failure is merely the opportunity to begin again, more intelligently. His assembly lines didn't emerge from genius, they were products of habitual iteration. Discipline is the alchemy that turns impossible into inevitable. A soap salesman, dismissed as unremarkable, began whispering to his reflection each morning, "I am a man of value. The world needs what I offer." At first the words felt hollow, but repetition turned them to steel. Decades later, his name adorned skyscrapers. Words shape reality when they become rituals. The disciplined do not wait for external validation. They script their own narratives. Most lives are lost to the quiet killer of drifting, the passive acceptance of whatever comes. Contrast this with the silver-haired cook who, after losing everything, knocked on 1,009 doors to sell a recipe. Rejections piled up, but his habit of relentless action outlasted every no. Drifters drown in someday. The disciplined sail with today. No one ascends alone. The greatest innovators surrounded themselves with those who demanded excellence. A laboratory became a temple of trial and error, where failures were dissected, not mourned. A factory hummed with minds united by a single question: how can we improve? Your circle is your curriculum. Choose those who sharpen your habits, not soften them. Tonight, as you lay your head down, ask, what one habit, if mastered, would alter my destiny? Write it. Then for 30 days, guard it like a sacred flame. Rise earlier, read deeper, work smarter, track progress with the rigor of a scientist. Discipline is not a cage, it is the key. The world's most free souls are not the wild ones, but the disciplined. They move through chaos with the calm of a captain steering through storms because their habits are anchors. Discipline is the silent architect of destiny, the invisible hand that sculpts chaos into order, longing into legacy. It begins not in the roar of revolution, but in the whisper of routine. The moment you wake, the thoughts you entertain, the hours you guard or squander, these are the threads that weave the tapestry of your life. To master discipline is to master the alchemy of turning time into triumph. Your mind is a fortress, and habits are its sentinels. Every choice to rise early, to move your body, to feed your intellect with purpose. These are bricks in the wall that shields you from the siege of mediocrity. But beware, complacency is a saboteur. It wears the mask of comfort, whispering, tomorrow. Yet tomorrow is a myth, a thief cloaked in delay. The disciplined know that now is the only currency that matters. Let me be clear, discipline is not deprivation, it is devotion. a sacred pact between who you are and who you resolve to become. It is the daily decision to choose the fire of growth over the anesthesia of ease. The world will tempt you with shortcuts, distractions, and excuses, but the path to mastery is paved with one question. What will I defend today? Guard your rituals like a warrior. Protect your focus like a treasure. Here is the truth the elite rarely admit. Discipline is a muscle, not a trait. It weakens with neglect, strengthens with resistance. When motivation falters, and it will, discipline steps in, a loyal general commanding your scattered forces. It does not ask how you feel. It demands what you commit. Begin here. Clarity is your compass. Define your non-negotiables. Write them. Speak them. Let them be the drumbeat to which your days march. Then ritualize your resolve. Design mornings that defy distraction, evenings that recharge purpose. Let every hour be a deliberate stroke on the canvas of your legacy. And when you stumble, when not if, remember, relapse is not failure. It is rehearsal. The disciplined do not curse the fall. They study it. They rise, adjust, and march again, knowing that every misstep is a map to higher ground. Discipline is the quiet rebellion against a world addicted to distraction. It is the refusal to let the noise of the moment drown out the symphony of your potential. Every choice to delay gratification, to silence the siren song of excuses, is a vote for the person you are becoming. You are not born disciplined. You become it, one deliberate act at a time. The battle is won in the margins, the 5 minutes you steal from sleep to plan your day, the 10 pages you read while others scroll, the walk you take when fatigue whispers surrender. These margins, invisible to the untrained eye, are where futures are forged. The disciplined do not seek more time. They resurrect dead moments. The commute becomes a classroom. The waiting room becomes a workshop. Life expands when you refuse to let a single minute go to waste. But let us speak plainly. Discipline is not a cage. It is the key to liberation. The athlete who trains at dawn is not shackled by routine. They are freed by it. The writer who crafts 500 words daily does not dread the page. They dance with it. Freedom is not the absence of structure. It is the mastery of it. When habits become rituals, effort becomes effortless. Here is the paradox. The more you discipline your body, the wilder your spirit becomes. The early riser, the mindful eater, the relentless learner, they are not prisoners of routine. They are pioneers of possibility. Their discipline is not a leash, but wings. And when resistance rises, as it will, remember this. The voice that says quit is not your enemy. It is a test, a forge to temper your resolve. Thank it for its service, then outwork it. Discipline is not the absence of doubt. It is the courage to act despite it. Now, stand. Look in the mirror. See not who you are, but who you are becoming. The gap between the two is bridged not by wishes, but by wills. The clock ticks. The choice is yours.